Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. Well, here's a bit of sweet news. Our guest this week is the Mighty Grouch from the Grouch and Eli and the legendary Living Legends crew. Here to remind you about the highly anticipated full album release from Living Legends called The Return after nearly 18 years since their last album Classic, and also to promote the upcoming How the Grouch Stole Christmas tour, which this year features the Living Legends, Brother Ali, Reverie, and DJ Fresh. For as long as I've been listening to the Grouch's music, it's a real trip to actually be having a conversation with him and creating art for him. On this episode 72 of the DOD45 Show, I draw a Where the Wild Things Are themed piece with some of those pesky toy plastic bowling pins. That will make sense later in this episode. And in the intro, I give a detailed list of my many favorite Grouch tracks spanning over his 20 plus years as an underground hip-hop artist on an impressive grind. With the Grouch, we also discuss his 10-year stint living on the island of Maui, producing the Slug and Murs Felt album, a tribute to Christina Ricci, and he shares with us a list of very impressive people that he has the utmost respect for, which includes Erykah Badu, Leon Bridges, Ab-Soul, Slug, Mos Def, and more. Sage Francis joins the conversation via the Sage's social media alert segment to ask about a Grouch post from 2012, which leads us into a discussion of what we deem to be proper social media etiquette. And Mr. Dibbs joins us through his segment to ask for clarification regarding a photograph of a gloriously dressed Grouch leering behind Dibbs in the backstage tunnel at the recent Atmosphere Red Rock show. All of that and other mentions of things like Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, Zion I, Monty Python, The Thing, Ash's Severed Hand, Christina Ricci, Christina Aguilera, Jay Electronica, Blackalicious, Vanity, E.T., Criss Cross, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Yo Gabba Gabba, and more. It's a real honor for the Grouch to be lending us his time, so put away that curling iron, light up the mosquito coil, nuzzle up with a bucket of buttered popcorn, and turn your attention to this episode 72 of the DOD45 Show with the Grouch. Peace. DOD45. So, yep, you heard it. Our guest today is the legendary Grouch. While we wait for him, I'd like to pay tribute to a close family member who recently passed away. We were supposed to record this episode last week, but had to reschedule to this week. And the night we were supposed to record, my uncle, he had a heart attack. That was last week, but he didn't pull through, and he's since passed away. But he was a really sweet guy, and I knew him my whole life. He was real close with my mom, especially after my dad had passed away. They became really close, and they used to hang out and play Fortnite all night long, and they became really, really good friends. Anyway, he enjoyed watching the DOD45 show. He would watch it with my cousin, with his daughter, and she said he would get a kick out of it. And so we'd like to pay tribute to him and wish him well on his next journey, and also send positivity to my cousins, his daughters, and all of his grandchildren. Rest peacefully. Kelly, did you want to say anything, Adrienne?
No, Kelly was just a really good guy, and he was surprising at how much he joined on this, and then our drink and draws over COVID. And he was just a really funny guy. I didn't get to know him until after your dad passed away, and he's been a really good companion to your mom. And he'll be really missed. Yeah. He was really funny.
Yeah, he was really funny.
You never knew what wacky stuff he was going to say.
He enjoyed, I think he was the type that he really enjoyed riled. I think he kind of got a kick out of people getting kind of riled up. So he was funny that way. When Adrienne says she joined the drink and draws, we do these things called the drink and draw with Ty through Zoom during COVID.
Because this will have been like a month since he passed by the time this airs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. But I wanted to pay tribute to him on an episode because he did watch the DOD45 show, and like I said, he'd get a kick out of it. So a few episodes ago, I mentioned about almost crashing on my longboard. Yeah. One of my really, really, really good friends, Troy, I posted that clip, and he said, "That's the universe telling you not to ride a longboard."
But I was telling you that I think that your longboard trucks may have broken because you put all your books in a giant box, and it was too heavy for me to take from the garage to the truck. So we put it on your longboard, and I rolled it over to the truck. So that might have. It was really heavy. It was like 5 boxes. We should have just left the books in there.
I'm really heavy.
Boxes.
Nah, I can't imagine that being. But who knows? The truck shouldn't break like that.
But I don't know if it was your longboard anyway.
Well, it was just funny that Troy had said that, because we're the same age, older gentleman, and he's still out there throwing down big old airs on his mountain bike. And I've noticed it on his videos. He's back on the actual skateboarding at skate parks. So good for him. Yeah. Yesterday we went to.
I hate how you always discount that you can't ride a skateboard. Because
I didn't say that.
You do in our personal conversations. You're like, oh yeah, I can't ride, but you think that. I mean, if you just warmed up riding across the street for a couple weeks, I think it would limber your muscles to get used to doing those. You don't have to go right into doing the tricks.
No, I know I can. I could take my skateboard right across the street right now and ollie up onto the curb.
That's the thing, but don't do that, because that's when you get hurt. If you just got on the skateboard and rode on the street,
I can
just the street for like a couple weeks.
I can still.
Then I know you could.
But it's a little more comfortable on a longboard now because you don't eat shit.
I know. I was only ever more comfortable on a longboard.
Yesterday we went and saw the Beetlejuice musical at the Fox Theater in St. Louis. The show was really awesome, and that theater is incredible. If you ever, any of you out there ever come through St. Louis, be sure to find something to go see that Fox Theater, because that theater is pretty incredible. I think we've talked about it on the show before, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. And tomorrow we're going out to Chicago to go see Jimmy Carr at the Chicago Theater. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to burn through. So I wanted to just keep the intro short. Real quick, I want to do my movie share. The movie is called Lost Bullet. It's a wild ride of a movie. It's really good. It is a French-speaking movie. I don't know if it has a dubbed version, but why waste your time watching a dubbed version? Just buck it up and read the subtitles. It's got some super insane car chases. I've never seen the Fast and the Furious movies because I imagine that they're shit. But this is like a French version probably of a Fast and the Furious, but actually good. Anyway, it's about this genius mechanic that's trying to track down a car that has a bullet lodged in it that will prove his innocence from a false murder charge. It's got these crazy awesome car chase scenes, explosions, but it's not just a dumb car. Well, maybe it is. Who knows? I don't know. It's really good. Check it out. Nice action movie. My song share is a song called Dance by ESG off their Come Away with ESG album, and it's a really groovy track. You know that song, yeah?
No.
Oh, it's a really groovy track. So check that one out. My quote for today is, I don't know who the quote came from, but it is, a robin never makes it back up into the trees without ruffling a few feathers. So I don't know. I don't know where that quote came from. I had it written down. Maybe it was something I said. Maybe it was something somebody else said to me. But
I'm sure you never said that.
That's probably not something I would have said. But sometimes I just write down thoughts in my head that I don't say out loud. Anyway. All right. So let's get to our guest. He's not here yet. I'll just go through some stuff about our guest. His name is Corey Scoffern, a.k.a. The Grouch. He was just on the Travelers podcast with Brother Ali. And I won't watch that podcast until after our discussion with the Grouch, because maybe something comes up in there that I wanted to talk about, but if I hear him talk about it, then I wouldn't ask about it. So anyway, check him out on the Travelers podcast with Brother Ali. We just saw him recently at the Atmosphere Red Rocks show. He was Grouch and Eli. That was fantastic. So as you know, most people know, I don't like to wear merch from the guests that we're having on the show, but I'm wearing a Grouch hat because this Grouch hat is kind of what got us hooked up with this episode with the Grouch. Because at the Atmosphere show down in there's like what do you call that area, the backstage area, but it was like at Red Rocks there's this whole little underground area of the backstage, the
green room,
I guess, kind of, yeah. But I had, during the show, I went down, I was going to the restroom, and the Grouch, there's this little corridor, and the Grouch was coming up. He was carrying around this basket of merch. And it was just, no one was in the corridor, just him and myself. And we'd been asking the Grouch to be on the show for a while, since he was one of the first guests we asked, and he was down to do it, but then got so busy. Anyway, I saw his merch and I wanted to get a hat, and I was like, I didn't want to bother anybody backstage, but he was right there. He was selling this merch. So I bought the hat and then said, I'm just reminding you, we'd love to have you on the show. And so he was like, yeah, I want to do more podcasts. So yes, I'll be on the show. So I'm wearing the hat because this is by me buying the hat sort of broke the ice for me to ask him to be on the show. Anyway, I'm going to do my best not to drone on, but it's going to be hard because I'm such a huge fan of the Grouch's music. So
I like when I talked to Eli backstage, I was like, hi, nice to meet you in person. He goes, nice to meet you. Who are you again?
Did you want to put that in there?
Okay. I thought it was just funny. Like, oh yeah. I worked really hard at being invisible my whole life, and it's finally paying off.
Except for when you want it not to happen.
I was just like, oh, I should say hi.
That's funny. A lot of times when I make a playlist of music from our guests that we're going to have on, I make the playlist to go for a run. A lot of times, a lot of people's songs are kind of unlistenable. Not all of them, but, not every single song is good. I really, truly think that every single song that the Grouch is on is a good song. Anyway, I'm going to go through a lot here, so please bear with me. The Grouch had started with the Mystic Journeyman back in 93. That became the Living Legends. And the Living Legends is the Grouch, Eli, Sunspot Jones, a.k.a. BFAP, as the Mystic Journeyman. Lucky I Am, a.k.a. PSC, as a Mystic Journeyman. Scarab, Picasso, Aesop, Errata, and Bizarro, and a former member, Murs. Here, this track, Rabbit Hole by the Living Legends from their Almost Famous album. It's with Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit sample.
Now if it's cool in moderation, I found a way to pace it. I made it more acceptable, this life, and I ace it. I'm faded on occasion, in abrasion to the clean cut. Blended with my normal way of life, and now I seem stuck. Even when I'm not blue, I'm focused, and I thank you for opening that part of my brain I couldn't break through. Even though it's illegal, I consume it, I participate in dangerous activities.
I always thought that was a Rolling Stones song. Anyway, the samples in that is really awesome. Samples equal like familiarity, like if you use a sample like that. And I do that a lot with my artwork. Like I'll draw something familiar, but do it in my own twist.
People like this shit they already know.
Yeah, but then they want a little twist on it. Well, and I'm saying that because Living Legends also has this song that our kids loved, the song called 2010 from the legendary music album.
Now what the cost of the company that's clogging up your artery, cholesterol butter, spread it so thickly, sticky fingers grabbing the sharp end of a box cutter, bleeding the blood of a soldier older. Why is that colder arena saturated with hitters disintegrate with atom bomb? Drop it, now they gone. Stop it. As I pilot my palm on the boss, holler my name in the shadows, nuclear nemesis, better let a veteran headed you off at the path. Last samurai, deep sea diving my.
That's featuring the sample from Nirvana's "The Man Who Sold the World," and I think that song, the only recording of that song is from Nirvana's MTV Unplugged. Yeah, our kids love that song. So Grouch is also part of a group called G&E. That's Grouch and Eli. Everything that they make together is good. The 2009 album, Say G&E. A couple songs off that I'm really into. The song All In.
Passion and wisdom, give some and take some. I don't want no fake ones. If I need new friends, then I'll make some.
Spend half my life on a search for nothing. I came up with something, it's on again. I found myself by the river and jumped in. It's all or nothing, gotta be all in.
That's featuring Gift of Gab, R.I.P. Gift of Gab. He died in June of 2021. Also, the Grouch and Eli's 2014 album, The Tortoise and the Crow. There's some bangers on that that turn up in all of my playlists often. The track We Want the World.
Ain't scared of the newscast, ain't scared of the past, ain't scared of the future, we ain't scared of your ass. Well aware of the chemtrails, ain't wearing no mask. Been hearing the grim tales, but still, we laugh. You can modify all the seeds in your path, but you cannot supply real food, it will not last. People waking up, shaping up to a mass. Eye-opening.
The Grouch's flows on that are awesome. When the Love Is Gone, I really dig the beat in that and the hook.
With no soulmate, gonna die of old age, wondering why. We got to do something about this quick, cause Grouch ain't going out like a bitch. Mama, she ain't raised no sheeple. My soul goes deep as Atlantis. If there's holes, then we gon' mend them. Dig within.
And say Eli, say Grouch. Say Eli. I'll let them sing it.
I'm Grouch, and I'm dope. A simple man to take notes. I don't love a thing, I love my folks. This mic is mine, don't get close.
Yes, his name is Eli. And yes, his name is
Grouch.
And yes, his name is
Eli.
And yes, his name is
Grouch.
Say Eli.
Eli.
Say Grouch.
And then their 2021 album, What Would Love Do? The title track on that is really good. That's the album I have their signature on. Back there, you can see it right over my shoulder.
Love wouldn't judge your profession. Love would appreciate her blessings. I want to do as love does when I'm my highest me in the right frequency. Love has empathy. Love lives simply. Love is in your heart. Love is what we're meant to be. Tell me, what would love do? When I ask you what would love...
Zion I and Grouch. Their 2011 album, Heroes in the Healing of the Nation. Track on there called Drop It on the One. Drop it on the one.
Don't drop the ball, just drop your jaw. We'll drop a jewel, he'll top a fool. Sit and spit and aware of unwritten rule. Script and addicting diction, good for you too. There's some voyeurs who will employ us times a million. Am I the villain? No, I'm the hero.
That song's kick-ass. The CMA, Cool Man Association, that's the Grouch and Lucky I Am. They got an album called All Over, and the track off that I really dig is called Are We There Yet?
Wielding weapons, and many is aimless. Pennies and dangerous ring so familiar what people are do for the dollar bill, yo. With the steel-toe blue collar, the true scholar. We hoop and holler for more, and the blues follow. As God watches and the good people suffer. But hold on, little sister, be patient, I love you. The space in your cupboard's how you discover your stamina.
And just real quick, some music that I really, really, really love from the Grouch, from the 2009 album, 3 Eyes Off the Time. The Weight of the World song, the music video of that one, it's a pretty heavy one. It's from 13 years ago.
Till the start's finished, let them know wherever the wind blows to stay focused through the white rice and pintos. And when you make it to the quinoa and seared fish, I pray to God that you don't have to hear this.
In a suicide note left in an envelope for police, a 45-year-old man wrote that he killed his mother-in-law, wife, and 3 sons, ages 19, 12, and 7.
It's about like when YouTube was first coming out and like people getting killed on camera, people recording like police shooting, stuff like that. It's pretty heavy material, but it's a really good video. It's a really great track. From his 2008 album, Show You the World. That was a real breakout solo album, I think, for the Grouch. That one's laced with bangers, with tracks like Artsy.
You ain't artsier than me, cause you chop up breaks and you dig in the crates. You ain't artsier than me, you just a trendy lesbian, dreadlock thespian. You ain't artsier than me, cause you make weed brownies and knit wool hats. You ain't artsier than me, you pseudo-elitist, old school sap. Don't let an 808 scare ya. Shake stripes off your shirt and clear the whole area. I'm a humanoid too, and if you're cool with me, then I'll look past avoiding you. Instead of through, I'm down with VWs.
One of my favorite Grouch songs. That music video has 1.5 million views on it. And there's also a track from there called Breathe.
It used to be stress, now it is breath. It used to be broke, now it's invest. It used to be faded and now it's controlled. It used to be underground, now it's known. It used to be young and now it's classic. It's still good music and it still is magic. I still am feeling true to myself, my family, my friends, my everyone else. And now I'm smarter. I put a filter on.
That video has 3.1 million views. And also the track featuring Abstract Rude called God Bless the Elephant.
Ask if you trust in your heart, plus do your part to be just. Shark fully up for whatever arises, cause God will forever provide us.
Demonic devices, consciousness rises. True, it's so much easier not to care. Glad I got good people in my square who still care.
Yeah, Abby Rizzle on Instagram. That whole album is really, really good. Again, I'm just going through some of my favorites off of these albums. If you like the track that I'm playing along with this, then you should definitely go check out the entire album. Of course, the Grouch's really popular song, I think probably one of the first songs that I discovered him from, was a track called Simple Man.
I'm just a simple man. I like pretty things. I'm a simple man, really. I'm just a simple man. I like pretty things, I like funny things. I like my hi-hats on 8 notes. Basic, don't double up the flow. I ride the beat, you chase it. Hennessy straight with the lemon squeeze to quench. Sounds from the town, they pound with intent.
That's from his 2000 album, Making Perfect Sense. He performed...
That's 23 years ago.
I know,
That's
isn't that
wild.
crazy? Well, it is 23 years ago, and he performed that at the Red Rock show, which I thought was awesome. Because I bet that's a track that a lot of people, are familiar with. So his verse on Lyrics Born's track, Enough About Me, is awesome.
Enough about me, let's talk about me.
It wasn't me, it was a fame, it's a hell of a thug. I'm not my name, I'm a Grouch, no love. Forgot the H for the hate, pumps my ego up. Hit the brake, shake them off, let the spirit interrupt. It's really the same trip that everyone is taking. The search for love.
He produced Felt's very first album. He produced the entire thing. The album's called A Tribute to Christina Ricci. And Felt is Slug and Murs. And that album also has feature scratches by our man Mr. Dibbs, who will be turning up in this episode later on today to drop question with the Grouch. The Grouch spots up on other rappers' albums often, and in doing so, he immediately elevates them. That's apparent with the title track "Fishing Blues" on Atmosphere's album.
Just like an answered calling, when I drop this line in the water, keep fishing, man, with a vision. Look, brother, I saw the future. Look past, I'll draw it for you. Strong words of an old soul. Don't rock my boat, I told them. Reel them in, throw back slow. Just like an answered calling.
In 2019, he grouped with Murs, and they are called These Hands. And the music video for the title track, These Hands, is fresh. It starts off with them getting into a fist fight with some people that say These Hands is a stupid name for a group.
Hey, so the name of this group should be called These Hands.
Merce and Grouch of These Hands.
Merce and Grouch of These Hands. I'm dead serious.
Dumbest shit I ever heard.
Who see These Hands?
That shit sucks.
You can't call it dumb. Only I can call it dumb, you dumb motherfucker.
What?
These hands, motherfucker, these hands built this from the ground up with a foolproof plan. These hands, motherfucker, these hands built this from the ground up with a foolproof plan.
Also from that album is a song called Light Up the Sage, and it's really different from... Actually, all of These Hands is really different from what... Not really different, but it is different from what you normally know the Grouch as. From his peace and love stuff. The These Hands stuff is like gritty and sexy. And I mentioned that because I just saw the video Light Up the Sage, and this girl's shaking her ass in the Grouch's face, and that's just very different from what I knew of him before.
We laugh as she asked me my rising. I'm a Taurus and Libra surprised her. It's only for one of my lifetimes, says she wanted to feel me inside her. The glow of the candles was vibes. She channeled, look right in my eye. We resonated, then I ate it. She stated I now was a part of her tribe. Twin souls seeking connection. Now she's sucking all on my erection. Pausing to tell me she's grateful and that I am such a wonderful blessing. Remember to always stay humble.
It made me realize that I've been taking for granted my fanship of the Grouch, and I didn't even know that they had that he's doing these hands, and that he had not recently, but he's no longer with his ex anymore. So his music kind of changed into this single guy. Anyway, it's just different. But I realized I've taken for granted my fanship, and I've probably done that with a lot of people by only listening to their old stuff. So I'm going to recalibrate my listening to other people's, or to the people that I'm a big fan of. I had read in this interview from Hip Hop DX that the Grouch and Murs weren't even really friends, even though they were in Living Legends. I thought that was pretty interesting. Like, they didn't even really care for each other all that much. But then as they got older, they started to be a little more friendly with each other, I guess. I think that happens.
Pretty big group of people, though.
The original group was like 8 people, but even still, I guess as you get older and have kids, you start to have more in common with people, and so you start to have more. I don't know. I thought it's an interesting interview. If you're interested in going and reading that. So anyway, in 2022. These hands expanded to the Grouch, Murs, and Reverie. And there's another cool video called Playtime's Over, where Reverie kills the Grouch in the music video, and her and Murs bury him, and then he comes back as a zombie and kills them all. It's a cool video because Reverie, she's rapping and she's dragging the body of the Grouch across this desert field. It's a cool video.
Often winded, comprehended when I've caught up. Hands upon my knees, forward bended, not a product. Inhale it, not a brand, I'm offended, that was thought up. Understand my purpose ain't so surface when I waddle. Persistence to swaddle, my own motto says it's simple. Always have a slow flow, you oughta change your tempo.
And then the Grouch recently released a single called Don't Believe It with Jay Lately and Eli.
Believe it, yeah, I'll be fine with some
help is on the way in the form of a new day that you can't recognize and you ain't figured out. Help is on the way in old clothes with a cool shape that you can't size up, that you never knew about. I lost myself on this road, but I never gave you pee. Many miles to go, you're not a urinal.
That's a really good song. The Grouch seems to be in a good headspace right now, and we're lucky to have him on the show. I apologize that I rambled on and on and on, but I really wanted to point out some of my favorites. And it's a good opportunity for me to share his music with you guys if you don't know. If you don't know who he is, I'm surprised. But anyway, that's that. So coming up just probably this month, depending on when this episode airs, is How the Grouch Stole Christmas. And that is Grouch's tour where himself and another headliner do this Christmas themed, not Christmas themed, but How the Grouch Stole Christmas. This year, the other person touring with him is Brother Ali, and that tour starts in November. And we will hopefully, you and I will hopefully be at the show at the Depot in Salt Lake City on December 14th. Here now, real quick before the Grouch is here, because I think he's almost here. It is interesting on the How the Grouch Stole Christmas. It's a Christmas thing that Brother Ali's touring with him for that. Because Brother Ali's Muslim.
What's up? This is Brother Ali and DJ Snuggles, letting you know that we're going to spend the entire month of December this year on tour with the Grouch, How the Grouch Stole Christmas tour. All through the
Wait, we're doing the Christmas tour?
Yeah, we're doing the Christmas tour.
That's this December?
Yeah, that's why you're wearing this outfit right now. So we're going to do it all the entire month of December.
Wait,
make sure you
wait, aren't you a Muslim?
Yeah.
So how is that going to work?
It's cool, doing shows, you know what I'm saying? It's the Grouch, man, Living Legends, that's my brother.
He's cool, all right, he's cool people. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, the How the Grouch Stole Christmas, those tickets I'm sure are available now. We'll ask the Grouch specifically if he knows when ticket sales happen. We'll be right back with the Grouch, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been a longtime Grouch fan, so we'll be right back.
Today on DOD45 is my man, the spectacular, the Grouch. Yeah, the Grouch. From the Mighty Living Legends, from G&E. He's a spectacular rapper and producer. He's a friend of mine. represents all coasts, you know what I'm saying? So ArtByTai, man, and the Grouch together, ooh, what a combo. So check it out, DOD45 with the Grouch. And this is AWOL1 saying, eat your breakfast and neglect your lunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. This is the DOD45 Show, drawing over discussions 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Tai of ArtByTai, and with my co-host, Adrian Taiwali'i, we're having conversations with people who I admire and am inspired by. On this episode, I'll set a 45-minute timer, put my pen to the paper, and we'll learn about our guest through an interview-style discussion. So stay right here with us to experience some laughs and maybe even learn a thing or two. DOD45. Hey, thank you for joining us today. It's actually quite an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So yeah, welcome to the DOD45 Show. For the next 45 minutes, I'm going to draw you a picture and we'll have a discussion. And I'm going to draw you this picture, a wild thing, where the wild things are themed piece.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you real quick before I start the 45-minute timer to start drawing. Are you able to articulate what the reason is why so much of our generation really is attracted to where the wild things are?
Honestly, for me, I don't know why everybody else is. It was a childhood book that I got, and I always mostly resonated with the artwork. The artwork is just beautiful. It's authentic. It's it's unique, I think, at the time. Something about the big monsters and the little boy, the dynamic between those two images and what they represent, I think just fell into the hearts of a lot of people.
Yeah. Did you feel an affinity more with the kid or with the monsters?
I think the monsters, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I want to be like a big, gentle giant with horns and shit.
I mean, that's definitely why it resonated with me. Of course, it was cool that the little kid had this imaginary world he could go to, but I felt like the person in the imaginary world.
I feel that.
Did you see Spike Jonze's adaptation of it, the movie?
I see that. I would love to watch it. I just haven't taken the time yet.
Yeah, you're a busy guy, man. But when you get a chance, you should check it out because it's really good. All right, I'm going to kick on this 45-minute timer and start drawing for you.
Right. You got something cool going already.
Yeah. I like to get the outline just kind of figured out before I get into it. It gives us time. I mean, it's hard to come up with it and have a discussion, but it's a little easier for me to just sketch while I'm chatting.
Yeah, man. I was already marveling at the idea that you can be such a multitasker and be so detailed with the drawings.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was kind of conceptually, it's really the only way that I can actually maintain a conversation and focus is if I'm drawing and then I'm thinking more about it than
I get that.
All right, so I'm going to kick off with some of our standard crazy Sophie's Choice questions. So, in an alternate universe, back in 1993, rather than have the opportunity to team up with the Mystic Journeyman, you're either able to make an album with Corey Feldman or co-star in a Lost Boys sequel with Corey Haim. Which is more appealing to you?
Oh man, I got to be in the Lost Boys sequel somehow. Right.
You'd be one of the Frog Brothers. You'd be the new Frog Brother.
But I'd be doing exactly. But that movie was the shit,
Yeah. Have you tried to watch that recently at all?
I have not.
Yeah, I tried. I showed we have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I feel like it still held up, but they didn't seem very much into it.
Too slow compared to all the short attention span, creative stuff for
that
people.
Is what it is, right?
I think so. Yeah, my daughter she doesn't want to focus on old movies. She'll watch some. She has a couple, she likes Monty Python that holds her attention, but a lot of other old stuff doesn't.
They need like 15 seconds real quick. Where do you feel most at peace? Los Angeles, the Bay, or Maui?
Maui, no question.
And did you have friends and family in Lahaina?
I definitely did have friends and family there. I know people personally who lost their homes, and unfortunately, I probably know people that died, but I haven't heard anybody specifically yet.
Right. Oh, what is such an awful thing. I mean, I prefer to keep it light, but I do want to pay tribute to anyone that did suffer through that, because that's an awful thing. And yeah, you lived in Maui for like quite a while, right?
10 years.
10 years. Did you how did you first end up in Maui?
I used to go there. Well, the first time I ever went there was to perform with Living Legends on Oahu. And I fell in love with it immediately. And I really wanted to go to Maui. And there was a guy that was a promoter who wanted to bring us to Maui. But from the way he was talking, I didn't really trust that it was going to happen. And eventually it did happen. That guy finagled a way to get us over there. And when I got to Maui, it was just that specific island really called to me and made me feel at home and at peace, like you said.
Yeah. And island life is it's like, it's real hard to break free of. And what I mean, like, it's so chill, like you almost don't really want to do anything.
Yeah, definitely that. It really is very close to paradise there in certain ways. And for me, it gets me into nature, and it gets me into my family, and it just gets me into my heart space and doing things that to me are more important to do. Taking time, slowing down, enjoying what God's created. Yeah, it's just a different perspective.
Did you feel productive, like because obviously, I mean, music is your love, but you also have to operate it as a business. Was it hard to be productive business-wise?
Very, very hard to be productive business-wise. I didn't want to look at computer screens and answer emails for 10 years. I did most of my business off of the island, and I kind of lived in two different worlds, but mostly on the island. I set my life up to where I could be there the majority of the time. And when I left there, then I was hustling. But while I was there, I did no hustling. I just spoke about this recently, actually, on Brother Ali's podcast. And I said that I had lost my hustle muscle, and that's just what happened. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, but after a while, after 10 years, I believe the universe led me back to California, or God. And since I've been here, it's been a shift of gears.
Yeah. You find that hard to get into that gear?
I'm in the gear now, so it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to get out of it. What I want to do is slow down and take some time. That's what my soul wants to do. But what my mind is telling me to do is keep pushing.
Yeah, but you've been a grinder since at least 93.
Yeah. I dropped my first project in 95, but I was probably working on it. I was working on building up to that since 93. And yeah, aside from that 10-year break in Maui from 2008 to 2018, I was grinding hard, and I still am. But I did take that long break where I can't claim that I was.
Right. Well, I think it's paid off your grind, and not ass kissing. Like, yeah, it's it's the proof is in the pudding. Besides your own, whose music are you excited to share with others?
I like Ab Soul. I like Black Star. I will forever. If somebody somehow doesn't know who Erykah Badu is, and that blows my mind because it happens, I love putting people onto Erykah Badu. But that's crazy that there's some people who don't know who that is to me.
That is crazy. Do you know any good dumb jokes?
Oh man, I'm the worst at recalling jokes. I make up dumb dad jokes on the spot, but I don't have any in my memory bank, and that's pretty sad to admit here. But yeah, I don't have one.
But do they, when they happen, does your daughter, do they just hate it? Do they hate it when you?
Oh yeah, they hate it. But but pretty funny ones when they hit.
I know this really dumb one. It's from this is the worst, but it's the girl that I heard it from. There's that actress, the actress that got stabbed, Reese. Oh, what's her last name?
Wow, I didn't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Who got stabbed?
The blonde actress that used to be married to that Reese
Witherspoon.
No, it was with a knife.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Got it.
Yeah, that one's the stupidest one, but I don't know. It gets me every time.
Okay.
All right, let's real quick while we got you here too. Let's do Sage France's social media lurk. It's brought to us by Strange Famous Records, but so Sage has has posted a question for you.
Cool.
Based off of social media. So let's see what he had to say.
Cool.
What up, DOD45? What up, Grouch? Hey, thanks for looking out for a kid not so long ago at that California festival. You saw me all by myself, totally unsure of what was going on or what to do. And I actually was okay, but because that's how I roll. But you looked out. You just made sure I was doing okay. I was doing okay. Thank you for that. Hey, on December 16th, 2012, you posted, "Don't tag me if your account is private." Now, I read it in that tone. It's most likely not the tone that you would actually use. But that was 11 years ago. The internet was different. What was so annoying about that? Was it because you couldn't lurk their account if it was private? And in 2023, are there any new internet type things that annoy you that you wish would stop? Or do you think everything's just the way it's got to be and we keep it moving? Let's change the world. Love y'all. Strange Famous.
I can barely remember back to 2012, but I think that's even still an issue. When somebody tags me in their account is private, then I can't see what they're tagging me in.
Right. And you can't share it.
And I can't share it. So I don't totally understand that.
You shouldn't be able to do that, because what if they're also tagging? It's like they're saying some gnarly shit, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like when someone tags me, I want to see what it is, but I'm not gonna follow them just based on the tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I hate the internet for the most part. I hate and love. I love it.
Yeah.
I hate. But what's really it doesn't really get under my skin too much. But now that we're doing this Living Legends album and Merce is not involved with it, every time we post, it's like, what about Merce? Where is he
Oh.
on this album? Is Merce going to be at the How the Grouch Stole Christmas? Why did Merce stop rapping? Why did you guys kick Merce out of the group? Which is not facts.
Right.
But there's just all these ideas around it, which I understand. But hey, Merce is alive and he's got social media. Go ask him.
Yeah, exactly. No, that I totally get that, because I see it happens a lot with we've become friendly with Sage, so I see a lot of questions that, because I first was a fan. So, but I have questions as a fan of things, but I would never just go on social media and bombard people with it. But I see it all the time. I'm like, man, I can't believe you would fucking ask shit like that on people's accounts. Like,
it's just kind of, I put myself in their position, and I wouldn't come at an artist like that. If I'm announcing how the Grouch stole Christmas with Living Legends and Brother Ali, and the first thing you can say is "Where is Merce?" then it just, I don't know. It's just not the most conscious, cool thing to ask.
No, and I that's why I think you're right on. It's probably, I mean, people like to go on there and stir shit up too, you know, like they have nothing better to do.
Yeah, it's mostly those kind of people, you know, I think.
Yeah. Who knows the mind of a social media?
I know for me, I don't engage on anything that I like because I'm satisfied. Because I'm satisfied with what's there. But like if something probably pissed me off, like I might be more I don't engage in anything, but I might be more inclined to be like, so maybe that's what's going on.
That's interesting. I think I challenge you to engage on some of the things that you like.
I know I should. I mean, like his whole business is.
Sometimes I see a lot of people who view my story, for example, but they never like it or they never say anything. And to me, it would feel good if, there's even people that I know that I see on there, and it would feel good if they said once in a while, "Hey, I like this." You know?
I guess I should clarify. I do heart the stories because it's a personal thing to them, but I don't necessarily want other people reading my messages or my comments. I don't want to take time out of someone else's life to message them and say, "I really liked your post."
I understand that. I don't do it all the time either, but I try not. I consciously try not to be the guy that only reacts to negative things,
right?
Or things that stir me up like that.
Well, and I think I get what you're saying, though, because I have, I use my social media to promote my business. It's been, I've got my followers for a long time were what paid the bills, and I like it when people, if I post something that I'm proud of, I like it when people go on there and say the good shit, like,
for sure,
I like this, like that. So I like to do that. If someone's posting their new song that comes out, I really enjoy not going on there and just saying like, this shit's fire, or even just throwing an emoji, because it does. I think it goes a long way.
Yeah, and then I will also say on the flip side, once those comments come in, I try not to just respond to the negative ones, even though those are the ones that get under my skin the most. But I'm appreciative for the positive ones, so I want to, put some energy into that. And I think I see a lot of people who only react to the negative things that people say about them.
Yeah, and that's draining.
Yeah.
It is wild how far, like, just how much that can affect you. Even if, like, in the position that you're in, just one little shitty comment can really.
It's true. If I let it.
Yeah, I try not to let it, but they still will every once in a while get to me. But then I think it gets back at them if you just laugh at their comment.
That's right.
All right, this is a crazy one. This is a crazy Sophie's choice. Okay, at a UFC prize fight, these hands is asked to be the hype group for one of the fighters' walkout. Who would you rather rep for? Bruce Campbell's hand from Evil Dead or the Thing from Addams Family?
Got it. The Thing is classic and old school, probably either before my time or around it. So I'm rolling with that.
I think it's got to be way before your time.
Yeah. How old is the Thing? That's like black and white.
I
think it was black.
Yeah.
You're a consummate pro, so you're comfortable either way, but I am curious, do you feel more in the zone or feel more comfortable in a collaboration like with you and Eli, or do you feel better the solo?
I much more I feel much better with other people around me and collaborating with me and on stage with me. On stage doing a solo show is a lonely thing for me. I don't like it. I can do it, and I've proven to myself that I can do it. For me, there's this weird pressure that always exists to do it completely alone, whether it's create solo albums, go on my own tour. For some reason, there's something that tells me, like, you have to do that because you haven't done that. You know, your last solo albums were in 2018. You better make another one, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know why that exists in my head, but I do know that I have a lot more fun creating and performing with other people. I've said out loud to Eli before, like, I don't want to do any more solo stuff. I just want to collaborate. And in this world right now, you know, maybe I came to that realization or that idea because nobody wants to hear one guy rap for hours and hours and hours. They just don't.
That's interesting.
Not in this world anymore. Unless you're Drake, maybe, but not really, because you come out and you just get picked apart.
Yeah, I guess it takes a little. I mean, I know that's not why, like you said, you enjoy it with being with someone that's not just so they take on some of the well, shit. I don't
the load.
The load. Yeah,
it is part of it, because it's also daunting to think I have to write this whole song myself. I'm 30 years into this. I'm probably on 25, 30 or more albums. I don't know how many are solo, maybe 12. And I don't know. As I get older, I don't even want to hear my own self-talk.
I wonder if one of the things that comes with the collaboration, though, is like if your work ethic, if you have like a really like, if you're not a procrastinator, but then the other person is, like, does that become an issue when you're collaborating?
I will tell you that for sure. And I know I've been both places where I've needed somebody else to giddy up and do their part, and I've been on the other side where I'm lagging. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it's not because, sometimes it's because they're being lazy. Sometimes it's because they got a lot on their plate. Sometimes it's because the creative energy is not there, and you can't force that.
You might be able to at the deadline. Some people wait.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, for me, I am a procrastinator, and when it gets to the last minute, then I get that crazy boost of energy, and I don't want to function like that, but
that's one of the things. Deadlines definitely get you moving.
Right.
Wait, no, I did have a question. So is the Grouch Christmas tour, is that solo or is it you and Eli?
No,
Living Legends, and it also has Brother Ali on it, and it also has Reverie on it, and as well as DJ Fresh will be DJing for the Living Legends. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that one. We're planning on being there to the December 14th show in Salt Lake City.
It's going to be a great time.
Well, we'll get into that when we're closing out. We'll get into like specifics about that. If you could get rid of them forever, which would you choose, mosquitoes or traffic?
Traffic.
Yeah, I guess
I live in LA. I'm definitely affected by traffic more than I am than mosquitoes.
I was just wondering if you get a lot of mosquitoes out there in LA, because we get them out here in the Midwest. It's awful.
Yeah, we get them, and they're not my favorite, but I'll take them over traffic any day. I put essential oils on my ankles and my wrists, and that seems to keep them away from me.
Yeah. Were they not bad out in Hawaii?
They got used to me, and they didn't go for me anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. Because in Samoa, the mosquitoes are unbearable.
Right. Even for locals that have been there for their whole.
No, they can. Yeah, like they get used to it. Yeah, like you said, I think the mosquitoes just get used to them. Or also, I mean, my dad's legs, like after a while, they just become callous legs, and I don't think that the mosquitoes can puncture through it.
I understand that.
I had a theory though that our family doesn't eat enough vitamin B or doesn't get enough through our diet, and that maybe that I don't know, because that's supposed to ward them off, but they all eat quite a bit of meat out there.
Right.
We don't. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like certain people have a certain blood type that they like, maybe. I'm not sure, or a certain sense, something like that. But for me, once I was on the island for, I don't know, maybe the first year it bothered me, and then it didn't happen much. But it never, certain people, like my ex-wife, before we moved there, she used to just get, bit all over her entire body would be bites,
Yeah, that can be awful.
Yeah. It's like miserable feeling.
So I'm thinking from 2008, that was I think 2008 was the last official full album, Living Legends album. Is that right?
Yeah, that was The Gathering. And then I also put out Show You the World in that same year, which was one of my best solo albums, I think, to date.
Is it difficult to get all the crew, everyone together to record a whole album? Because every once in a while a single would drop or something, but
yeah, this is our first in 15 years, the first 15 years. And the only way to make it happen, because we tried to just like meet here and there, or I'd start a song with Eli and send it around. We tried that for like a few years, and that didn't work. And so that's where like those random singles came from. And Sunspot and I came up with the idea that we just need to rent a place and book everybody for a week, and that's how we got this one done.
Oh, cool. So like everyone just showed up with their verses, and then
we wrote verses there on the spot.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a week together. We rented a house in the Coachella Valley, and we had a nice spot. We set up 2 or 3 different recording stations, and we had people send us beats the week before. And so we had these big folders of beats. Eli brought beats. Sunspot brought beats. I brought some, didn't end up using them because there were so many beats that we had to pick from. And we just wake up every day and, 1 or 2 or 3 guys would pick one for the day, and they'd start writing, and then they'd record their parts, and then they'd give me that session in my room. I'd record my part to that, and I'd transfer the session I started to the other room. And we just, we
that's cool.
We knocked out 15 songs in that week. So,
yeah, that's the way you got to do it. Force everyone to be in the same space. Were you guys hanging out, or was it all business?
We were hanging out for sure. We were cooking breakfast and dinner with each other. There was a pool, laughing, telling jokes.
Do you feel like that that energy, because I don't know, the album, I think, doesn't that come out today, or no, you guys are doing like a live thing tonight, but
it comes out on 10/27, the end of this month.
So do you feel like that energy of you guys being together, do you think that people will that'll be palpable feeling, like what we hear? Can you feel that energy of like you guys are like together?
I think so.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of like intricate back and forth mic switch ups, and there's not a lot of like whole multiple voices saying the same thing. It's similar to any other Legends album, but I think there's a cohesiveness to it, and I think you could tell we were together. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's cool though. I like to hear that stuff from groups when they go and record an album somewhere together. I feel like you can hear it in their albums.
I think people like to see us as a group and like to see pictures with us all in it and like to hear songs with multiple voices on it. I think that's one of the reasons they like Living Legends is we're a gang of friends who sometimes argue with each other, sometimes hug each other. And, you know, I think people just resonate with groups of people who are focused on doing something together.
Yeah, it's relatable.
Yeah. And we know that it's difficult and we know that it's beautiful when it's executed.
Well, so you guys are doing, I don't know if you're a part of it, but I'm pretty sure, but you guys are doing the Living Legends live Q&A thing on Instagram tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
that'll already pass. And then you do the pop-up shows with Eli often. And my question with that is, do you enjoy doing those things where you meet the fans, where you meet the people that listen to the music? Do you enjoy doing those things?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love it. I mean, those are the people who, you know, who really support. I mean, my whole thing is that I want to create art and share it with people. And then these are the people who have received it and they're giving me positive feedback on it. Like, that's some of the most fulfillment I get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because once it leaves you and then it goes to other people to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So they come up with their kids. They come up with kids who know the lyrics to my song. They've played my music around them for their kid's entire life, and now their kid loves it. Stories like that, where they come up with kids named Eli. Nobody names their kid Grouch, but a lot of people name their kid. And
well, that is cool, because I was going to ask that, because our kids grew up on it, so yeah, they know the music, they know it well, and I imagine over the last, so our kids are 17, 15, but a lot of people's kids now are in their later teens, and so they're bringing them to shows with them, and it must be really satisfying to see multiple generations of people really getting down to your music. That I imagine that's a pretty good feeling.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I just hope those kids are listening to other things too, so they don't get teased too hard at school by the mainstream kids. But yeah,
so people they want to be that different, and now everybody's different, so everyone's the same. Let's go to we got a question from question in from Mr. Dibs.
Okay.
He told me it has to come with this photograph too. So I'm going to try to figure out how to share this photograph.
I think I can do it.
Give it up, Mr. Tibbs on the turntable.
Listen to more of this.
Okay, can you see the photograph?
I see the photograph.
Okay, go. All right, let's go. Here we go. Question from Mr. Dibs.
Hello, Ty, Adrian. Here we are again, streets of Cincinnati. No real plan. I sent you the photographic evidence for this question.
Sir. Sir.
I sent you this photograph. I sent you a photograph. It's photographic evidence that leads into the question about the Grouch. Ma'am, just wait a minute. Question is...
No, sir. Sir, seriously, sir.
The question is, why are you slinking down that hall in a glorious Hawaiian outfit?
I want to shake it behind you.
What the fuck? Ma'am, why are you slinking down that hallway so gloriously in your Hawaiian outfit with that look on your face? That's the question, sir. Love you, Grouch.
Well, okay, that's a picture from the most recent play at Red Rocks, and that's pictures taken in the tunnel that goes from behind the stage out to the front of house, where they control the sound and the lighting and the screens and stuff. And so it's also taken at sound check, because I was not wearing that outfit on stage. That's why I know when it was taken. I was wearing that outfit during the day. And that is like a relaxed, comfortable Hawaiian style fit that I have. 2-piece short set. I love it.
It's fresh, dude.
Thank you. And what I was probably doing was going up to the guy who controls atmospheres, stage lighting, and he was gonna work the screens for me and Eli, and I was giving him the files for that. His name is Rio, which is the same name as my daughter. And yeah, that's what I was doing at that time. And I as I was doing all those things, Dibs was sound checking, and he was playing a lot of dope shit that I had to keep saying, what the hell is that? Like, I never heard that before. What is it? And I guess he just got done with his sound check, and I just got done dropping off my files to Rio, heading backstage. That's the full.
You weren't creeping on Dibs.
Nah.
You should have been.
I'm not the photo bombing type.
No,
he'd have been creeping on you. You should have been creeping on him.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, when I saw you came out of the hotel in that, yeah, man, it's super fresh.
Oh,
I'm sure you got a picture on that. I'd like to share that with people. But yeah, Dibs' set was fucking mind numbing, man. It was fantastic. Everyone, you guys, the whole show was so great.
Yeah, that was very dope. It was great to see Dibs. I don't know when the last time I had seen him before that. Definitely love him. And yeah,
when I was going over stuff in the intro, I like to go over like music and stuff of the guests that we have on the show. But I, for some reason, just slipped my head that, I mean, I knew you would produce the entire Felt album, but I guess I just didn't think that it was all like Dibs' scratches on that. But I don't know why I didn't think that, but I thought that was cool.
That's a project that is like, I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people say, I didn't know you produced that. I know it's not the best one that they created. I mean, Ant kicked my ass on the next one, but
I think it was awesome. It was a starting point.
Yeah, starting point. It was a great time recording that and working on that with Merce and Slug. I did not work with Dibs on that. I wish he would have been there for that too, but I guess they got the scratches added after they recorded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering is if, I guess you guys didn't work that specific.
That project was recorded at my house, in my garage studio in Los Angeles. And so Slug had flown out for a week or two, and we just were knocking it out every day. Kind of like what I was talking about the Legends album. I mean, you just set that time aside and make it happen.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that album, we'll do a Sophie's Choice on that. We got about 5 more minutes till this timer goes off, and then we'll hit you with the rapid fires to close it off.
Cool.
So I'm putting together this fake date night. So it's a date night, okay? And you can either go see the movie Where the Red Fern Grows with Christina Ricci, or The Fern Goalie with Christina Aguilera.
Christina Ricci got a fatter ass. At least when she was popping, she did. So that's what I'm going with. No. I like both of those women.
Do you? Who do you have a lot of respect for in the music industry?
Most Def, Erykah Badu, Fela Kuti, Bob Marley. I like Leon Bridges. I like Jay Electronica and how he does things. I respect certain things about Jay-Z, and then a lot of things I just think I don't. So I respect Brother Ali. I respect Slug. I respect Dell, Hieroglyphics, Merce, Abstract Rude, Black Alicious, Zion I, and so many other independent underground artists, visionaries, there's the list could go on, but those are the artists that I have a lot of respect for too, because it's hard to do what we do and stay around doing it.
Like you said, I don't know like what the difficulty is, but I know that it's probably obvious, but or not obvious, but just like being underground. And I don't know if that's the proper term or anything. I've always just said underground hip hop or like craft hip hop or something, but it is so great to see those of you who I discovered, unfortunately, through Napster days. That was where I discovered a majority of the hip hop that I now celebrate these days, which is why we do the show. But it's so great to see a lot of you, not all of you, but a good number of you still grinding it out and people appreciating it. That's exciting to me.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was just wondering if you reflect on your career, and if so, what kind of feeling does it give you? Are there regrets, or does it feel like satisfactory, or what kind of feelings?
I have a love-hate with it, because I feel like a lot of it is very, for me, it's cringe if I go back and listen to a lot of the old stuff. But then there's stuff that I'm proud of and that I can stand behind. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to create at least a few songs that people hold dear to their heart and have helped them in their lives. Because I get a lot of messages about how, this particular song has helped me get through my addiction or my breakup or whatever it may be. Sometimes people are in the actual moment of struggle and they're saying, this song is bringing me light today, And so I'm just really grateful for that. And I know that there's things that I've created and put into the world, or been a part of, that have been created and put into the world that have helped other people. And that's what makes me feel the best.
Yeah, I imagine that's a great feeling. When you are putting together a set list, like at the Red Rock show, you did perform Simple Man, which is a 23-year-old song, and Artsy. And I wonder, are those the type of song that you're talking about? Like, those are the songs that you can look back on and go like, I'm real proud of this one. I definitely want to bring it out for a show. Or is it more of like, I know that the fans really enjoy this from me? Is there
well, to me, I think that those songs exemplify traits of myself that I've had all along and that I still have. And so they feel very true to me. And so those are always go-tos for me. I think the one that kind of goes with the last answer I gave the most is the song Breath. And that's the one that people, I think it's my most streamed and most.
It's like 3.1 million views.
Yeah, that's I'm grateful for that, and it's also sad at the same time. But when you look at the hundreds of millions of views that an actual really popular song gets, but also I'm grateful. Like I said, I'm not bitter, but it's something that I think about and I try to understand, and I do understand it to a sense and in a sense. And I was put here on this earth to play the role that I'm playing, and I accept that, and I am grateful for it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good attitude. Well, I'll close this section out, and then we'll go into the quick rapid fires. But I like to end this part of it with the question: what advice would Grouch 2023 give Grouch 2000?
I would tell myself to not worry about what other people think so much.
Yeah, that's good advice. Would you listen? Would Grouch 2000 listen to Grouch 2023?
Hell.
All right, I'll hit you. This is a segment we call The Dish, where we get served And they're just it's called The Dish: First, Worsts, and Last. The first one, we'll start off with your first. What was the first concert you went to?
Oh my God, that's the one that I never thought of the correct answer for.
The one that really sticks out.
Be the worst guest at this that ever lived. I literally can't think of the first concert that I went to until high school, and that was probably.
What one really made you go like, oh, I really enjoyed?
I wouldn't even call it a concert because I don't think I didn't go to like big artist concerts. I was interested in underground hip hop, and I think Black Alicious.
Oh, cool.
Gift to Gab in Berkeley, California, and hearing him do what's it called? Doom, 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 doom. I can't think of the name of the song right now. Sorry, I totally blew the rapid fire first question.
No, it's fine. Oh, sometimes, and I
was it the alphabet song?
No,
that
was
Swan Lake is the name.
Oh, Swan Lake, yeah. Who was your first celebrity crush?
I'm gonna roll with Vanity from the movie Purple Rain.
Oh, that's good. That's a first. Yeah, everyone seems to go with like Soleil Moon Frye or Christina Applegate, but yeah, that's a good one.
I think I'm older than those people.
Yeah. What was the first podcast you were ever a guest on?
I actually don't know when people started slinging that term around. I was on something called the Stevie Weeby Show maybe 5 years ago, and that one stands out in my mind. The first one that I know was like an officially called a podcast was the Brother Ali Travel podcast that I did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'll be listening to that after this episode. I don't like to listen to podcast interviews before I'm having a guest on because then you might cover something that I wanted to ask, and But I'm planning to listen to that. What was your first car?
My first car was a 1972 Plymouth Valiant.
Was it reliable?
Man, it got me around. I delivered pizzas in that car, and it got me around the hills of Oakland, which are windy and steep. So it did a good job. It did a good job for the style of car and the year that it was.
Did you have to put one of the magnets on it and everything, like the pizza delivery?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just used to bump hip hop music and drive around and deliver pizzas incognito style. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good job to have. I mean, that's a lot of actors or like musicians like that job.
It was great. It was my last official job.
When was the first time you cried watching a movie?
Maybe E.T.
Oh, back in '83.
That one made me cry for sure.
Wait, was that the last time?
No, the first. There was one. Was the first time you?
Oh, first.
Yeah.
Oh, I cry in movies all the time. Like, I cry in a lot of movies, and my daughter will like look over to me and say, "Dad, are you crying right now?" and it's like not even necessarily a crying type part, but yeah, movie.
I shed a little tear at the Beetlejuice musical last night.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, I sobbed like a baby. Sorry, this is gross, but I had snot like running down my face, and I had to dig into my purse to find like napkins. I was not expecting that.
I don't know. I like to cry. Like when I'm crying, I'm like, wow, I actually have feelings.
Yeah. Did you ever, when growing up, did you try to hide crying at all, or have you always been comfortable with it?
Probably yes. Well, at some point. I think when I was a kid, I was more of just a cry baby, and I cried. And then, like when I was a teenager, then it wasn't cool to cry. So I tried to stop, hold it in. And, you know.
Well, it's kind of cool for this generation now that they're able to be more open about it. It seems like I think that's a better way to live.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you know, there's the general boys don't cry concept in the world, but I didn't have like a father that was telling me, don't cry. You know, men don't cry. I didn't have that. So
yeah,
I never I don't think that concept fucked me up too much.
Yeah, I think I never I wasn't able to cry. And then when I was able to, I really enjoyed it. It's a breath of fresh air.
Oh, I hate crying. I hate crying.
You hate it?
I hate crying. Yeah.
You're always crying. Just
I
kidding.
will say that it's like if I'm crying out of pain, I can't say I like that. But for some reason it does like create some sort of release.
What's the worst sound?
Cats fighting and cats in heat, noises that cats make.
Oh, are you a cat or dog person?
I'm not the best pet guy. I don't really like cats, but I got my daughter a cat, and so we have a cat. We have 2 dogs. I like dogs, but I'm not like I love animals, but I'm not like the kind that lets them sleep in my bed or hugs them or lets them lick my face and all that kind of stuff. I don't get too close to them in that sense. I appreciate them. I do love them, but I don't get too deep with animals. Just to be honest.
Did you have pets growing up at all?
Kind of the same way. Like we had a cat that would come in to eat, and then we wouldn't see the cat that much. I didn't lay and cuddle with the cat and all that kind of stuff. I just there around.
What's the worst hairstyle you ever had?
I tried to braid my hair once. Like in the
cornrows, or
not cornrows, like more when like, I don't know if you remember how Crisscross used to have their hair.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do that one time, and it was the most embarrassing thing. I don't know how I left the house like that.
Did you initially feel super fresh when it was done, or did you immediately go like, oh shit?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't right.
Did you have your clothes on backwards?
No, I did not have clothes on backwards. I wasn't like a huge Crisscross. I wasn't a Crisscross fan. It's just that like, well, let me try that style in my hair. Like maybe that could work in my hair, and it was ridiculous.
What's the worst kid's toy?
Worst kid's toy? I'm kind of traumatized by the plastic bowling set.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I was like 12 or 13, maybe 12, and I was on my way to a birthday party to get dropped off at a birthday party, and it was a pool party, and I was with my stepdad, and we went to some toy store because we hadn't got a present, but we were already late, and for some reason the toy store was very limited, and he ended up convincing me to get this plastic bowling set for the pool, which makes no sense. And it was just embarrassing to give that gift. And like, we're 12-year-old boys, and that's like something that like a 6-year-old would get. And so
did you still give it as a gift?
Yeah, I still gave it as a gift, and it was just like they laughed at it or whatever. And
oh man, that's
I was like, this is a toy for a 6-year-old, and I don't know.
Happy birthday.
So forever traumatized about that.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
What's the worst smell?
Oh, the worst smell. Burning hair.
Oh God, yeah. That's awful. That's a great answer. What's the worst professional wrestler's name?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
That was such an interesting choice for a name.
Why? There's a lot of bad ones out there. I don't know that many.
I think they're all bad.
No, they're all great. But Brutus the Beefcake, was it the Barber?
I think it's the Barber.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yeah, either way, even just Beefcake is a shit name.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I just remember thinking that's a weird name, you know.
What about worst flavor?
Worst flavor. I actually like most flavors.
Are you a foodie? What would you consider yourself?
I love every single fruit. I love every single vegetable. I don't think I've ever tried a fruit or a vegetable that I don't like. But I will say, when it comes to candy, I'm just gonna go with. I feel that the candy company should make less yellow candies, whether it's lemon or banana.
Oh yeah, who makes a banana? Oh, Runts. Runts has a banana, like a banana shaped candy too.
Like it seems like when I buy a pack of candy, there's like 2 or 3 flavors that I really love, and then there's a bunch of oranges and yellows. And for me, those are like the bottom of the barrel flavors. And it seems like those are always have the most numbers, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, like raisins well, I'm not a big raisin
Do you eat them anyway?
I do, but I save them till the end where I'm like desperate.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's no more candy, so I'll eat the yellow ones. But I don't know if there's people out there that like the yellow ones the best, but it doesn't make sense to me because it's not like there's probably, you know, is it cheaper to get the lemon flavor than the cherry flavor? No. I don't understand it.
That is interesting. I don't notice with candy. All I taste is sugar, so I don't even really taste the flavor. I'm not a big candy person, but I'm
a sour candy head.
Oh, do you like it really sour? Do you like uncomfortable sour?
Yeah, I love all the sour candies.
Oh, what's your favorite candy?
If you make fruity candy and you don't make a sour version, I don't understand you.
Do you have a favorite candy?
Right now, the sour versions of Mike and Ike's are crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue that into these favorites then. Do you have a favorite Living Legend track?
Probably Never Falling Down.
Never falling down, 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 ever falling down. Never falling down, 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 ever falling down.
Even if I was blindsided by Mack trucks on a side street in an alleyway in a foreign city, I'd still make it back.
Favorite professional wrestler?
Probably Andre the Giant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a good one. He didn't have a moment to be like a total asshole. So
Right.
Yeah, he was always good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. Do you have a favorite comedian?
Dave Chappelle.
Nice. Are you into comedy at all, or you could take it or leave it?
I love comedy. I'm not like study it like super deep, but I watch, you know, the current specials and stuff like that. I like stand-up.
Yeah, stand-up's it's a good feeling. Laughing is just as exciting as crying.
Oh, I love it. Love
it.
I hate laughing.
You're gonna learn. Adrian hates a lot of shit, and that's like her thing.
My name's the Grouch. I should be saying that.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have a favorite cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
are those the small? No.
Those are the
circles?
Flintstones ones, I think.
Oh, yeah, the little mini, like, are they kind of like Rice Krispie-ish? Or
It's
not?
disgusting. It's like...
They're flaky.
The closest thing to eating candy for breakfast that you can get, probably.
Oh, almost all cereals, I guess.
Yeah.
Favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
At the time, Terminator, maybe.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite children's show?
Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh yeah.
Did
that
you
was
ever?
good.
Do you know those guys that produced that show?
I don't. I always I thought it was like awesomely put together though.
For some reason, I think a Tongan family. It was a Tongan family, or like a bunch of these Tongan guys were worked on that for a while.
I think they were in the suits.
Oh really? Yeah. Was we have a friend that was friends with the guy. Yeah.
Oh.
DJ Lance Rock. Yeah, that show was awesome.
That was
man.
good. Is your daughter around our kids' age?
That's when we would watch it when she was young, and then, but it was like just as entertaining for me as it was for her.
It was so good. Do you have a favorite TV sitcom?
I really like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know what kind of humor you call that, but it's sarcastic.
It's smart.
Sarcastic, smart, subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite album from when you were younger?
Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yeah, it's such a great album. Well, and then do you have a favorite album now?
I couldn't leave it to one. I was trying to think about this, and one of the albums that I can play front to back forever and ever and ever is Leon Bridges' Coming Home, Erykah Badu, Mama's Gun, the new Black Star, No Fear of Time. And then I wanted to say Bizarre Ride to the Far Side is a forever one for me. And then current album, I like Ab-Soul Herbert album.
A favorite late night snack?
Popcorn with butter, nutritional yeast, Parmesan cheese and hot sauce with sour pickles on the side.
Do you do it? Do you do
I'm
it?
gonna take note of that.
Yeah, the sour pickles on the side's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do the kernel? Do you pop them in a popcorn maker or in a pot?
I pop them in a popcorn maker currently.
Yeah.
I switch up my styles every once in a while. I love popcorn, and I also sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder in them too.
How often we hitting the popcorn?
There's no like regular schedule. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes I'll go a week without it. Sometimes, I don't know. I probably never go 2 weeks without it. I don't think.
It's so good. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's so
Why?
good.
Dangerous? Is it bad for you in a way?
No. It's just like once someone pops popcorn at our house, because we have a popcorn maker, we do a lot of popcorn. Like once you smell it, it's like it's on.
I love it. Like me and my daughter will sit down and watch something, but not really even really. We're like watching something is to be able to have is like the excuse to make popcorn almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'll make a huge bowl of popcorn and we'll sit there and we're literally like fighting each other for the kernels. When we like the kernels that are half popped. Like they're like little tiny crunchy half popped ones. And so we'll both be like scouring the bottom of the bowl as we sit there and watch, and she'll be like getting mad at me because I'm eating all of those ones.
Oh yeah, I do not like those ones.
I know we're wrapping up, but what hot sauce?
Oh my God, Erewhon habanero hot sauce. Erewhon's like the most bougiest grocery store in LA. They make jokes about it, and all the celebrities go there. But their hot sauce and most of their products and their food there is like unmatched. So that's my top choice for hot sauce, habanero hot sauce from Erewhon. But traditionally over the years, like I've been doing this same recipe for popcorn for like 25 years. And so before that, it was just Tapatio.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But the Tapatio doesn't compare anymore.
Mm.
What was 2Max's joke, Adrian? Tap your uncle and call it Tapatio or some shit. All right. Well, we've been served. That's the dish. We've been served by the Grouch. But it was such a pleasure having you on our show, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. I always say this.
Our work is awesome.
Well, thank you. I will definitely give way more detail, and then I'll get it sent out to you with a little care package that we like to send to our guests. But this is the amount that I can get done in the 45 minutes. Well, before we let you go, for someone who's been living under a rock for the last 20 years that's never heard of your music, what album of yours would you tell them to start with if they were a first time someone never heard of you?
The album is called The Grouch Show You the World. It's got a picture of me with my daughter on my shoulders on the cover. It's got the songs Breath and Artsy, as well as some other good ones. But that to me is probably the solo album that I'm most proud of.
And that's the one. And I know that because that's one of my. It's up there as one of my favorites. All of them are my favorite. But that's one if someone hears, they will definitely get a sense of what they're gonna. Whatever else they get from you is gonna. That's a good jump off point for them. That's great.
I think so. Thank you.
Yeah. And then what can we plug? What's in the future? So we got How the Grouch Stole Christmas.
Yeah, we have How the Grouch Stole Christmas in December, and you can get tickets for that at therealgrouch.com. And then we have the new album called The Return from the Living Legends, and you can buy pre-sale bundles of merch and albums right now on legendarymusic.net.
What's the best way for people to stay informed with your moves? How do you like that? How do you like them to gain access to what you're up to?
I'm most active as far as social media goes on Instagram, and my handle is The Grouch. But aside from that, I guess my website always stays updated, and that's therealgrouch.com.
All right. When do you have any final words for the people?
Peace and love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching this. And thank you for having me, my brother.
Yeah, thank you so much. I very much look forward to seeing you guys perform in Salt Lake City. I'm a longtime fan of your music. Long time. Like really been in it. And you're a huge guest for us. So thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Peace.
From my corner of the globe, let's probe, let go. Gonna take you on a ride, but give it breath slow. Echo my intentions, big horns, newborn. Fornicate with your fate, show a great many forms. Who me? I know a record.
All right, there you go. That was probably the most organized I've ever kept an interview. Huh. I was hitting all my marks. Go to the sage, because usually I get to the end of this. But I knew they're doing a Living Legends tonight. Well, this will already have passed, but they're doing a live Q&A thing. And so anyway, yeah, that was great. I'm really happy that we were able to get him in on the show. Like I said, he was one of our first people that we asked to be on the show, and he was down from the beginning, but
we'll have to throw some of the hot sauce in there.
Yeah.
In his care package. I wonder, I got really interested. I wanted to know if the hot sauce kind of melts on, when liquid touches popcorn, it kind of like disintegrates.
Our friend Joel used to do the hot sauce when he'd make it, didn't he?
I don't remember, but I know the nutritional yeast is a big thing on it. A lot of people do that.
I've seen the hot sauce. I think you've tried to do the hot sauce thing, but I don't get how you get it to get can you put it in a spray?
Well, I think people they do this thing where they spin the bowl and they.
Oh, because I feel
we don't have big enough bowls for any of that. But
I feel like once you put the hot sauce in there, it soaks. Like it would just soak in one pot.
But maybe if you're constantly maybe he probably has some sort of rhythm.
Well, that spray that we use when we're spraying with the oil. Couldn't you do that? Couldn't you put hot sauce in a sprayer like that?
Do you know what oil? Well, oil and water don't really work well together.
Oh, so you wouldn't? No. I'm not saying put it in the oil. I'm saying, could you just have a sprayer with hot sauce, like to spray the hot sauce?
Can you imagine me with a hot sauce spray?
No, that would be crazy. Do most people, is that a common thing, the spray of the oil? So when we make popcorn, I wanted to get them out of there because I didn't want to bring
Pam. They buy Pam,
Oh.
which is a spray, but I just bought a spray bottle for oil so we could spray the popcorn with olive oil.
That's what we do when we pop it, when we put it in the popcorn maker. And what I do is, as it's coming out of the popcorn maker, I'm spritzing it with that spray, with the olive oil, just really letting it have it. And it's so good. It's so refreshing. That's a great answer. What?
Refreshing.
Not well, like when you want to have a late night
pina
snack.
colada.
Well, but like a late night snack, like if you want to feel kind of healthy about it, popcorn's the way to go.
I love popcorn.
Yeah, but I don't know.
fiber.
And nutritional yeast is good, but it's the butter that I think is probably not grand. But I guess what's the difference between butter and olive oil?
That's one for you to Google.
Oh, there's a big difference there. Okay. Well, I believe it.
But I'm not against people eating butter.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying
Especially if you have a metabolism like the Grouch is.
No kidding. Yeah, he could probably eat
He's
5
eating
sticks
sour
of
candy
butter
all day. I was wondering because I do a lot of, or I did. I'm on the sugar wagon. Right on.
Yeah.
So I have I'll go for that really sour candy, and it sounds like he goes for the pretty hot sauces. I wonder if that's a certain palate. No, I'm not saying me and the Grouch is so much alike.
But hot sauce or sugars.
Because the habanero is pretty hot. Not a lot of people just
that.
And then the sour, that super sour stuff. Kind of you realize it burns my tongue, burns out my tongue.
Yeah, when he said habanero hot sauce, I immediately anytime someone brings up habaneros, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to bring up hob sauce, but I didn't want to do it.
No.
This time around, but yeah, we should definitely in the care package. We'll send him some hob sauce. What else? Anything else you want to recap on from the conversation, or anything you want to mention here before we close out the episode?
No.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I think we're done. Just ArtByTai everywhere.
Well, I do have a few things. I do want you to check out the Under an Hour books. That's my latest book. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people about it. I really am happy with it because it's the only book that I put out that's got commentary on it. So it's my written commentary about certain drawings and stuff. And they're just cool little doodles. You can't get them as prints anywhere else. So that's a good book to have because it's drawings sketches that I've done that you can't get anywhere else. So that's available at artbytai.com. We'll probably, by the time this airs, we're probably wrapped up with Ink Tiber. Those Ink Tiber pieces will be available at a show called Intrinsic, my solo art show at the Chicago Gallery, the Jackson Young Gallery in Chicago in April of 2024. So keep an eye out for that. Remember to stay the hell away from our Twitter or X at DOD45 Show. And then, like Adrian said, all our socials at ArtByTai or at DOD45W on Instagram. That's the best place. Subscribe to the Grouch's YouTube channel. He's got a lot of his videos and stuff up there. He is big time, but yeah, when I'm thinking, if I had a video that had 3.1 million views, I'd be excited.
I was thinking because he made the comment, yeah, but that's kind of low compared to the people with hundreds of thousands of views. And I wanted to say,
millions.
Hundreds of millions. Yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, but at least you can walk into a store and not be bombarded with people. Because if you had hundreds of millions of views, your life wouldn't be your life anymore.
That's true.
You would have to be in hiding all the time, or just know that you're getting your picture. Maybe he's not. Who knows?
No,
maybe the
he does.
paparazzi's all over him, but.
Well, and I get what you're saying there, and I think he probably. Most people understand that as well. But the gripe is that song, especially the Breed song, is such a great song. I brought it up in the intro. It's so great, and why does a song like some piece of shit song from some super famous musician that's on
because most people don't have any taste, and so there's
what it is?
Poor group of people with different types of tastes and that want a different kind of flavor than the mainstream. If he were to go mainstream, I'd probably not listen to
That's
him
true.
anymore.
You are very much like that. But not only that, it is funny to say, yeah, you're mainstream, because I still go like 3.1 million views for a song. Like that's awesome. And the videos, it's a good video. Anyway, all right, yeah, I thought that was that one struck me like, oh wow, yeah, I guess if you always want to get it in the eyes.
It's never good enough for you artists.
No, because you want more people to be able to appreciate it.
Just want more and more and more.
No, not just.
I'm just kidding. Let's go. I gotta go.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get out of here. From all of us here, thanks again, Grouch. Thanks again, Mr. Dibbs. Thanks again, Sage Francis. It's the first episode in a while where we've been able to get both of their segments in one episode. Thanks, Grouch, again. Thanks, everybody. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy drawing, happy conversing. And thanks for conspiring us. We're out of here. Peace.
DOD45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at ArtByTai on all the socials or at ArtByTai.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.